the strangest thing.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the January the 8th, 2018 legislative session for the Salisbury City Council. At this time, I request that you shut off all electronic devices or silence them. Anything that makes noise, we would appreciate it. Just saying. Which reminds me, I should do mine.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I did, okay. If during the meeting an emergency should arise, we ask that you leave the chamber, make a right-hand turn and go down the stairs. Should that exit for some reason be blocked, please exit the chamber, make a left and then a right and go down the stairs. And if you need special assistance, please let us know and we'll be happy to provide it to you. At this time, I'd like to call on Reverend John Wright of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Salisbury for our invocation. Good evening, Mr. Wright.
Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. The German theologian Meister Eckhart is quoted to have said, "If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough." And so I invite you to please join me in prayer as I say this moment of gratitude. Holy Mother, Father God, Allah, Yahweh, source of all, we are so truly grateful for this moment, for this day, for our very lives. We are grateful for this wonderful city we love and for this governing council. Holy One, these are good people, kind people, caring people, dedicated to the health and well-being of all the citizens of this city. Help them to remember that what they do here in this room matters. Their decisions affect real people whose real lives are important. Help their wisest selves to guide them through this meeting. May they be reminded to look through the eyes of wonder and see the abundant beauty and potential of life here in Salisbury. May they find in their hearts the strength and wisdom to govern with justice, equity, compassion, thoughtfulness, and care. And finally, a moment of gratitude for those city employees who have so diligently worked to keep our lives safe, productive, and healthy. May they find joy in knowing that they are seen and that their work is deeply appreciated. These things we ask in the name of all the names we use to call on you, that supreme power that guides us, whatever our traditions, to act in ways that are loving, wise, and just. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Wright. Appreciate it. Please rise now and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before I go any further, I want to wish everybody a very happy New Year. Hope this year is better than the last year, and last year was pretty good. So, Mr. Mayor, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hold on, let me clear off some of the candies that have been left here.
I wonder who that could be.
My gift to you. It's your 2018 bonus. So, I have the good fortune tonight to talk about something that's happening in our community that is really powerful. As many of you at home and listening know, and certainly as the council knows intimately, it was about 15 to 18 months ago that we began a journey of being a part of responding to the homeless crisis in our community. That's not to say we are going to single-handedly solve it. That's not to suggest that it's something that can be ultimately solved, but we sure as heck are going to try. And when we started that journey, we started it with the belief that Salisbury's part needed to be a focus on responding to chronic homelessness. So those people who have been homeless for more than a year. And so we engaged by gathering together the agencies that have been out there working for many years on responding to homelessness. And we said, well, we're going to be a part of helping to respond to those people who are in the worst situations. There are estimated to be about 200 people that are chronically homeless on the lower shore. And so part of our solution is a dedicated staff that works around the clock on helping those who are homeless, whether through our program or through other programs. And they happen to be in the room tonight, Christine Chestnut and Theo Williams. Christine and Theo have been working, Christine for how long now? Since May. So about 8 months, 7 months. And Theo for about a year and a half on, again, every day, working with homeless clients in our community. Not just the chronically homeless, but that's our focus. They have now housed permanently 25 chronically homeless people out of that 200 on our lower shore, permanently housed in our community. And it's fantastic. One of the things that I've learned, though, in homelessness and really in anything that we're working on is that there's absolutely no solution that is a government-alone solution. It's not going to work. You're not going to be successful that way. And so it takes a community to come together. And we all have to remember, and I hope everybody at home remembers and everybody in the audience remembers, that the local government is us. It's our community. You know, we are not some outside entity with all the resources and all the answers in the world. So we're coming to these solutions together. That was something that I thought about yesterday when we were talking, Drew. So that being said, we had a couple special moments in the effort to reduce homelessness in the last couple weeks. And when I say reduce homelessness, let's remember that in each case, we're talking about a human life, somebody who is living on the streets, somebody who's incredibly cold right now, somebody who is often hungry, somebody who is dealing with possibly substance abuse or mental health issues, clearly economic issues, but life and death issues on a daily basis. And so there's two special moments I want to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about, Theo and Christine, can you just come up here? Because if I miss anything, you guys are going to be the ones who are going to be able to fill the gap. The first thing I want to talk about is a gentleman named Randy. Randy is going to be familiar to a lot of people who know him and have worked with him. And Randy is a chronically homeless veteran who has lived in our community for many years and has been without a home for many years. And through the work of Theo, Christine, many other organizations, and ultimately through HUD, right? It was a HUD voucher? No, it was VA. It was us. Yeah. It's our program. Okay. We tried. We tried through VA, tried through HUD. HUD has a Veterans Assistance Program for permanent housing. But okay, Randy is one of our clients. Randy's housed through our program. What's really great about this is that, so the citizens of Salisbury are funding Randy's housing. And Randy, who also has some income, is paying for Randy's housing. And that's incredible. But it takes more than that to make a home. So Hebron Savings Bank, an incredible institution in our community. Hebron Savings Bank has entirely outfitted his home. And even gone so far as to help take care of Randy's dogs. And ensure that Randy has absolutely everything he needs. And I think Christine or Theo, do you mind adding? Christine, do you mind adding?
So normally when we put people in housing, we don't have everything that they need. We've gotten donations here and there. We kind of meal piece together what we can get, but we don't have funding for that. So we try to get the things that they need to start, but we don't always have everything. For Mr. Randy, he is known very well in this community, and since he's not homeless, I've had lots of people calling and going, where is he, what has happened to him? But Hebron Savings Bank on their own, without us even asking, completely outfitted him with not only every piece of furniture, including pictures on the wall. They stocked his cabinets. They vaccinated his dog so that he could get put into housing. They provided dog food and clothes in the cabinets. I mean, in the closet, in his closets had clothes. Food in the cabinets, clothes, whatever. When we went in the day that they moved him in, he had a Christmas tree and Christmas presents and all of those things. Everybody that knows him knows he lost his wife about 9 years ago, and he's been very, very sad since then. So he's alone. He has the 2 dogs. But they completely, the local Hebron Savings Bank branches all got together, completely gave him, lamps, everything that he possibly needed, silverware, toasters, coffee pots. And that was a huge relief for us, because when we put people in housing, we don't always have all of those things for them. So that was just a huge source of support that we just greatly, greatly appreciated from all of you over there at Hebron Savings Bank. So we just wanted to show our appreciation to you guys, because it was incredible. I told Theo, he was out, but I said, you wouldn't believe how much stuff they have for him. And then he came the day that you guys moved him in, so it was incredible. So we greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So would the representatives of Hebron Savings Bank mind joining us? Take pictures. Thank you. So, we have a small certificate of recognition. We just want to say thank you. Your heart and what your organization has done, and the employees of Hebron Savings Bank, and it's an incredible contribution to the effort that we're all in to help those who have found themselves in the condition of homelessness. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
You get a picture? You guys want to get in here? Oh yeah, let's get in front of the chief.
Ladies, if you'd like to send it over. Thank you. Thank you. Mayor, something I forgot to mention is that Hebron Savings, the first snow that we had prior to this blizzard, Mr. Randy would have spent that time in his truck, which is where he was living, had been living there for quite some time. And the ladies from Hebron Savings Bank also put him up in a hotel for those days so that he did not spend that out in the cold. So we greatly appreciate that from you guys as well.
Okay, so in addition to that fantastic story, another beautiful thing happened here recently. In the holiday season, I think we're all aware of what it can be like and concerned for those that are alone, and worried about those who are alone. But to be alone, and to be alone outdoors, to be alone and not have shelter, that much more significant, that much more heartbreaking. But several businesses in our community came together and decided, again on their own, to take care of, for a day, a beautiful day, many of the people who are homeless in our community. And I want to just read real quick what they did. For their contributions to and participation in a 2017 holiday gift event organized by Homeless Friends, the city's Homeless Friends, to provide haircuts, new coats, new shoes, breakfast, lunch, bags with hygiene materials, and games in the true spirit of the holiday season. All of these event participants are recognized as being supportive not only of the city's homeless initiative, but supportive of showing humanity. And I think Salisbury's humanity for the people who have found themselves homeless in our community. So I want to invite up the representatives of Edit Downtown Salon, Deadstock, the Davis Group, Brick Room, and Rody Joe's? No? Okay. Okay. So these businesses, Deadstock, SBY, the Brick Room, the Davis Group, and Edit Salon, these are small, locally owned businesses that, probably have other priorities in the holiday season. their own families, their small business, probably people in and out of many of their stores. Brett, I don't know if that's true in the real estate business, but so maybe you had a lot of time on your hands. But the rest of them were busy. And what did they do during the holiday season? They said, we're going to take care of the people who have found themselves homeless in our community. So I want to applaud you. You each deserve a round of applause. This is a beautiful effort. Thank you. So can we maybe do a big picture with the council? We've got a big group, so I want to make sure that, ladies, absolutely. Absolutely.
Doesn't matter. What's easier? Sitting is okay and they want to be behind us? There we go. This is executive. We'll try that.
Can we, what are we going to do? Behind?
Behind us. Yeah.
Can we kind of fill in behind?
Hide my snacks.
Yeah, Hardy, you got to move in. Oh, you're not a part of us, Hardy?
Get close like we like each
Is
other.
there a reflection?
Yeah.
Ready?
Thanks again.
They gotta get up.
I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. This is what makes our city special, right here. The people, and it's not just the city, the people who live on the Eastern Shore are a special breed, and we should never forget that. And with things like this going on, we will never forget it. But I hope that the media, who usually, in a lot of cases, doesn't recognize some of the successes that we see, I hope they take note of this, because it is truly a wonderful thing, and we thank you. On behalf of all the citizens of Salisbury, we thank you very much. Okay. I'll now entertain a motion to adopt the legislative agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Rudisil, Ms. Jackson. All those in favor of adopting the legislative agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Ms. Jackson, Mr. Rudisil. Got to be quicker. Good evening, Mrs. Nichols.
Good evening.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. On the consent agenda tonight, we have the November 20th work session minutes, the November 27th regular meeting minutes, December 4th regular or work session minutes, December 11th regular meeting minutes, December 18th special meeting minutes and work session minutes. Resolution number 2804, approving the appointment of Dave Harris to the Zoo Commission for a term ending January 2021. Resolution number 2805, approving or authorizing the mayor to enter into an amended contract with Wacomico County Health Department to expend grant funds in the amount of $90,400. And we have 4 manufacturing exemption requests. The first one is for K&L Microwave for their equipment purchased in 2016. The second one is for LWRC International LLC for equipment purchased in 2016. The third one is for Mason-Dixon Machining Incorporated for equipment purchased in 2016. And the last one is for Mid-Atlantic Filter LLC for equipment purchased in 2016. And this concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll call the motion. All those in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you, Mr. Nichols. I'll entertain a motion to approve the award of bids.
Mr. President.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can we first?
Got it. Mr. Harris, would you please stand? Dave is a very good friend of mine, and he's also a principal of one of our schools, Fruitland Primary, and he's also a Rotarian, very busy, has kids of his own, and we look forward to him participating in the Zoo Commission. I know the committee is, and I want to thank you on behalf of the council and the citizens for your service. Thank you. All right, now I'll entertain a motion to award the bids.
So moved.
Mr. Boda,
Second.
Ms. Jackson. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Great, thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
The first item this evening is change order number 4 to RFP 1015. The City of Salisbury Department of Procurement received a request from the Department of Infrastructure and Development to process change order number 4 in the amount of $334,762 for RFP 10-15 wastewater treatment plant construction management and inspection. This change order will provide for construction and inspection services to continue through May 30th, 2018, which is the expected date of final completion. Funds are available in the wastewater treatment plant project account noted in your packet. The Department of Procurement hereby requests council's approval for change order number 4, as noted above, to GHD Incorporated in the amount of $334,762.
Questions or comments?
Just glad to see it's finally going to be over with.
Pardon?
Just glad to see it's finally going to be over with.
Me too. Okay,
All right. The next item is change order number 6 to RFP 03-14. The City of Salisbury Department of Procurement received a request from the Department of Infrastructure and Development to process change order number 6 in the amount of $185,000 for RFP 03-14, which is the Skatepark Design Build contract. This change will provide for the Phase 2 construction drawings and approximately 60% of the Phase 2 construction of skating surface. Funds are available in the Skatepark Phase 2 project account noted in your packet. The Department of Procurement hereby requests council's approval for change order number 6 as noted above to Adira Construction in the amount of $185,000.
questions or comments?
It's great for the people that have been a part of that skate park committee because they raised some funds. And,
Yeah.
and so,
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And I'll tell you what, it's very well used. You can go by there. I didn't go by today, but it would have been interesting. But there's always.
There's snowboarding in there today.
So,
nice.
okay. Hearing no other questions, I'll call the motion. All those in favor of the award of bids, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you, Mrs. Miller.
I do have one other item that needs
Okay.
to be read publicly. It's
Okay.
just for informational purposes. This is change order number 8 to contract 107-15. Per resolution 2506, which is specific to the contract that I mentioned, change orders in the amount of $50,000 or less are authorized to be approved by the Director of Procurement. Once approved, the City Council shall be notified in writing within 2 business days following the approval of the change order. Lastly, all change orders shall be placed on the agenda of the next legislative meeting. The City of Salisbury Internal Services, oh my goodness, that is the wrong department. The City of Salisbury Department of Procurement received a request from the Salisbury Department of Infrastructure and Development on December 27th to review and process change order number 8 for contract 107-15, the wastewater treatment plant BNR/ENR upgrade. This change order will address 5 miscellaneous yet necessary items to continue the work at the wastewater treatment plant. A synopsis of the work specified in change order number 8 is included in the attached departmental memo. Change order number 8 was approved by me on December 29th. Notification of the approval was sent to the administrative office on the same day, requesting that such be forwarded to the city council. The inclusion of this change order at tonight's legislative meeting is informational in nature, with no further approval required, and will serve to fulfill the requirement of public notification as defined in Resolution 2506.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mr. President,
Yes,
is it possible just to provide comment on the wastewater treatment plant?
Sure.
Change order and just the overall. As you may know, we'll be making an announcement relatively soon, I think, about when the expected end date of all construction activities is. So, just given the remark of, we're excited for this to be over soon. It'll probably be May, I think is what we're looking at. But just so you know, we're now a month into the plant technology actually operating. So we'll be able to publicly announce soon the results of the operations. It's going to be good news. We've seen very, very good figures, so we'll announce that publicly soon. And obviously, we're going to
Fantastic.
want the council there, so expect an email about that soon.
good. Looking forward to it. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2473.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Jackson, Mr. Boda. Good evening, Mr. Tillman. Happy New
Good
Year.
evening. Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Ordinance 2473 is an ordinance of the City of Salisbury to increase the salaries of the mayor and council members of the City of Salisbury, whereas the charter of the City of Salisbury in sections SC 2-3 and SC 3-3 provides that a salary review committee is to be appointed by the mayor to review the salaries of the mayor and council members and to make salary recommendations which shall be considered by the City Council and adopted by ordinance. And whereas the salary review committee is to make a written recommendation 6 months prior to the next election, and any salary increases are to be effective after the current terms expire. And whereas the salaries of the mayor, council president, council members were last set by ordinance number 1931 on April 11th, 2005. And whereas the salary review committee has submitted its report and has recommended that the salary for the mayor be increased to $75,000, the council president be increased to $14,160, and the council members be increased to $11,800. And whereas the council's final determination is that the salary for the mayor should be increased to $50,000, the council president be increased to $14,160, and the council members be increased to $11,800. And whereas the city council considers this proposal appropriate to ensure the future participation of qualified candidates for public office, now therefore be it enacted and ordained by the City of Salisbury, Maryland as follows. Paragraph 1, the mayor shall receive an annual salary of $50,000, $4,166.66 per month, and the president of the council shall receive an annual salary of $14,160, $1,180 per month, and the other council members shall receive an annual salary of $11,800, $983.33 per month. This ordinance shall take effect in the fiscal year after the mayor's and all 5 council members' current terms expire.
If I could, I believe what the council agreed on was council president would be 15,000, which is on the memorandum, and the city council members would be 12,000 a year.
Yeah, we rounded
So,
that off.
yeah, we need to
Yeah,
adjust that paragraph there.
All right.
it's on the form, it's on.
Yeah, yeah, but it wasn't changed in the
Yeah, it wasn't
ordinance.
changed.
It was correct on the memo.
Yeah, correct.
But it wasn't corrected in the
So do we need to
ordinance.
Do we need to amend
amend
the,
that now, or?
can we do that in the second, can we change it and then do it in the second
Or we
reading?
could just do it now, and then it would already be amended for the
Yeah.
second
Okay.
reading if you want to make a
Okay.
motion.
So I'll make a motion to have the council salaries reflect the memorandum. And then we'll also have to correctly adjust the per month, since it's written in per month. So that would be, break out the calculator.
1,000.
Council would be,
200.
council members would be 1,000 a month.
Right.
The, City council president would be $1,250 per month.
Okay, we have, is there a second to that motion? If we get a second?
I'd second.
Ms. Jackson seconded. If I'll read it again. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, I'll repeat the motion as I heard it. We are going to amend the ordinance to correct the council president's annual salary of $15,000, which comes out to $1,250 a month, and the council members, $12,000, which comes out to $1,000 a month. Is that correct? Correct. Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the motion. All those in favor of the amendment to the ordinance number 2473, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Now I'll call the motion to approve ordinance number 2473 for the first reading. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you, Mr. Tillman.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comments?
No, sir.
Mr. President,
Yes.
would you permit me to provide a quick update on the snow?
Sure, absolutely.
So, just, and I'll be very quick. We estimate about 12 inches of snow, and that began around 6 p.m. on Wednesday evening, operations had began by 6 p.m., began around midnight, and ended at 4:18 p.m. on Thursday afternoon, the snow. Obviously, snow was significant through Thursday, and within 24 hours, we had plowed every street in the city. It's the second time that we can confirm that using the GPS tracking. So the plowing of the city was complete. We've received about 100 requests for touch-up in locations. So Saturday morning this morning, Saturday until 1 p.m., with some touch-up after that. And this morning, we hit those 100 spots. Maybe about 20 of them were the same, and they asked us to come back a couple times. We have missed garbage collection on Thursday and Friday. Billy Sterling has sent some crews out to pick up. Obviously, those are also our drivers for the plows. But so crews have gone out to pick up today some of the Thursday and Friday trash. We will be back to normal waste collection tomorrow. So if you didn't get it picked up today and you needed it picked up because it wasn't picked up Thursday and Friday due to the snow, we apologize, but you'll be back on your regular schedule this week. A reminder to everyone that this week is also Christmas tree collection week. So make sure the Christmas trees are out there, even if it's on a pile of snow. Hopefully the warm weather, the unseasonably warm weather at the end of the week will help. Obviously the cold created some problems. Inclusive of those problems, we had 379 police calls for service during the storm, and that's as of Sunday. The 379 is about 60% more than we would experience in that period of time. Almost all of those were responding to stranded motorists. We were not issuing citations for people who were violating the civil emergency and being out on the roads when they shouldn't. Delaware did. They have levied some hefty fines. But we did encourage people to find their way back home as quickly as possible. We worked with the hospital to help dig out nurses and doctors who needed to go in, and other healthcare organizations. Just a reminder in the future to the public, anything anybody can do to, when they know storm is coming, to get their car off the street, even if they're not on a snow emergency route. It's so critical, because the reason a lot of streets only got one of the 1-ton pickup trucks with a plow on it instead of the big plow down the street was because they had cars parked on the street and we couldn't fit. In addition to that, we did plow even those small streets, when we tried to get back to them, there were streets where cars were abandoned in the middle of the street that people tried to drive during the storm. So there were a number of tickets issued for cars left in the middle of the road. And there were a variety of tows affected. There were 29 traffic accidents recorded. Only 2 had personal injury. Those are being investigated by SPD. And we had 7 water mains break. The water mains, obviously, I cannot imagine doing that work, not only having to dig through the snow like that, but having cold water spray all over you when you're doing it. So kudos go out to not only field operations for all of their work, SPD and SFD, but Waterworks for having to deal with that in the midst. All of those are repaired. The only public notice I would provide at this point from that is if it happens again, and there were a couple people who had water pressure loss during that time. Not many houses without water for several hours, but some with low water pressure. If you get discoloration in your water, it's not like dirt coming in from the outside. It's just things broken loose from inside the pipe. Just let your water run in the faucet for 2 to 3 minutes until the water clears. I don't have a total cost yet, but we did put down additional salt over the weekend. So hopefully that has continued to expedite the melting today. I don't have a total cost yet, but I'll work to get that so we know how expensive this storm was.
Thank you. By the way, the crews should be commended.
They're incredible.
What a job. It's remarkable that we were able to do that in 2 days. And I know there's still, I had, from my development, I had people call me and say, this is the best job the city has ever done, especially on the side roads. Some of the, like you said, the plows were so big. One of the side roads is a cul-de-sac, and they backed all the way into the cul-de-sac in order to plow the road.
Wow.
It was pretty impressive, so. And if I could just add one thing to the people at home, being a former firefighter, it's not your responsibility to do it, but I would ask anybody that has a home with a fire hydrant in front of it, if you could, it would be a lot better for everybody if you could clear a 3-foot circle around your fire hydrant. That would make it a lot easier, and God forbid, in case of a fire in your neighborhood. Just so they can get to it, because a lot of the streets, because of the plowing, obviously some of those hydrants got covered, at least on one side, and it would be a lot easier for the firefighters. So I would ask you to do that, if you could do that. Okay, at this time, we are going to go into closed session, and I'll read the notice that was put up at approximately 6:45. Council will entertain a vote to convene closed session to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice on a legal matter and to consult with staff, consultants, or other individuals pending potential litigation in accordance with the annotated Code of Maryland 3-305B 7 and 8. And we will also be talking about a negotiation regarding Lot 30. So I'll entertain a motion now to convene in closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Boda and Ms. Jackson. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you, everyone. We are now in closed session. We ask everyone, except those that are going to be participating, to exit the chamber.